Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 22378 Southwest Saxon Place here in Sherwood. Located at the front of the house, we are to the right of the front door. That's as you face the home from the street, how I describe everything. You've got you actually have two clean outs. I think I chose the right one here. Two clean outs at the front here. One's closer to the front door, about the middle of the patio. The other one's right off the front right corner. That one there appears to be your storm system clean out. This one yep, there's the water trickling through. Cool. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water is running. We're going to zero out the foot counter here at the base of the clean out. For some reason that gives my camera a little bit of trouble there. It's kind of a funky clean out. It doesn't drop perfectly straight down, it kind of cuts at an angle. So right out of the gate here, you got a decent layer of grease built up in the flow line. We'll see how that looks on the way out. But if I see that throughout the majority of the line, I generally recommend it be cleaned. Grease buildup comes from putting fats, greases, and oils down your kitchen sink drain. Also have a root intrusion here at the transition joint. I just swapped over to 4-inch 3034 PVC. That I will certainly recommend a repair on. And I'll get that marked. I'll be using green paint. I'll mention the depth and location of that here when I reel back out. You can see the flow line, it's a combination of grease and toilet paper or paper products in general. Grease acts like glue. Your toilet paper and whatnot goes down line. Rarely does debris go from point A to point B in one shot. It sits on that grease, gets stuck to it, so on and so forth. And it ends up just building up over time. So it's a good maintenance item. Once it's cleaned out, you can mitigate the buildup entirely by living habits. But it's a very good thing to keep on top of, especially when you have little ones in the house that still haven't learned how to fold toilet paper. Balled up toilet paper and grease buildup don't love each other. It's a recipe for blockages. And we just went through what appeared to be a belly there. We'll revisit that when the line's drained out at the end and see where that's located at. But there's the main there at 56 feet. We're going to go locate the camera head real quick while the pipe drains off, and then we'll have another look at everything as we come back. Alright, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates on Southwest Saxon Place. Just got a lisp there. And the pipe's still draining off. We're going to give this just a moment longer. Now the belly in the line here dissipates off at 46 feet. Thus far, it's a very minor belly. You do have some debris at the top of the pipe that indicates a blockage in the past. However, that is not the kind of belly that you would typically see blockage evidence from. This line has a lot of grease buildup in it. I mean, if you're gunking the line with grease, that already will get you to the point of getting a blockage. So a belly like this is not one I generally ever recommend repairs on. It's extremely minor. You're only talking maybe a 1/16 to a 1/4 inch of standing water across that whole section of pipe there. About the only thing you get consistently hanging up in a belly that small is if you're putting a lot of grease down the line, and improper items, gigantic balls of toilet paper, I mean abusive stuff. So the gunk at the top of the pipe there is almost exclusively grease buildup. Grease is not something that should go down your line to begin with. Alright, I got this marked and located. We're in the front yard here, thank goodness. This is under grass and dirt. It's almost between the two squares of bark dust out here in the front yard. It just sits on the edge of the right side, one as you face the house from the street. About 5 foot 5 inches deep is what I'm getting there. And I recommend the root intrusion be repaired. I highly recommend doing that. It's close proximity to the home. I also highly recommend this line get jetted. It has a substantial amount of grease and debris buildup in it. After any repairs are completed, make sure you do a rescope. You want to do that after the trench is closed so you can catch any settling problems that occur, especially at a transition joint like that. It happens a lot where that piece of pipe gets undermined during a spot repair and the joint settles. So you want to make sure you're scoping this when there's a load on top of it. And then you also want, ideally, if you can do it, kill two birds with one stone, you also scope the line after the line has been cleaned to ensure that the cleaning was done thoroughly. And we're facing back into the house here. You know, ideally I would jet this thing end to end, both interior and exterior. That grease buildup persists throughout the entire length of the sewer line, and it all originates from the kitchen sink drain back inside the house. So it'd be worthwhile running the jet backwards and getting this thing cleaned up. Aside from that, the rest of the sewer line here, the belly is very minor. That is not something I recommend repairs on. All of the buildup that's in that belly is grease, and it's stuff that shouldn't have gone down the line to begin with. So as long as you're not putting it back down the line and you don't give the belly anything to hang on to, you're not going to develop that kind of buildup again. Otherwise, bellies that tiny require heavy and consistent abuse to ever get them to the point of causing a blockage. And that thing is situated between 37 and 46 feet out from the house. It's a good distance from the home, where if under an abusive situation you do get a blockage, it provides a lot of head pressure and leeway building up 40-something feet back to the house. That often pushes blockages through that are made out of proper items, and I highly doubt that would happen under a proper usage scenario. You'd have to be flushing balls of toilet paper down the line the size of your shoe to get to that point. But the roots I do recommend get corrected and then the line get cleaned.